5 divers are exploring an underwater cave more than 100 meters deep. They had only been swimming for a short while when one of them got stuck in a rock crevice and quickly lost consciousness. The teammate behind, who witnessed everything, struggled violently before also perishing. The diver trapped in the middle panicked and thrashed wildly, trying to force his way past his teammate's body. Faced with this suffocating scene, the rearmost diver had no choice but to abandon his companions and swim back alone, desperate and isolated through hundreds of meters of twisting tunnels until he finally reached the exit. But just when he thought he was about to escape, he discovered that the water surface above had completely frozen over. And this is the tragic Plura Cave incident we are going to talk about in this episode. Plura Cave is located in a remote valley in northern Norway. Vast amounts of limestone in the mountains, eroded by rivers over hundreds of years, created the deepest and most complex underwater cave system in northern Europe. The deepest point in Plura's underwater section exceeds 132 meters. The labyrinth-like tunnel network stretches at least 3 kilometers and connects to another dry cave inside the mountain. Some passages are extremely narrow, the water temperature is very low, and combined with complex gas management and lengthy decompression procedures, it places extremely high demands on divers' psychological resilience and technical skills. On February 5, 2014, 5 Finnish divers drove to Plura Cave. They were Kai Kenkinen, Patrick Grintvest, Jari Huotarinen, Vesa Rantanen, and Jari Uusimäki. All were experienced cave divers and held full CCR cave diving certifications. Just the previous year, Kai and Patrick had been the first to discover and complete the connection between the 2 entrances, entering through the dry cave and exiting via Plura. That traverse gave them great confidence, leading to this second crossing 1 year later. The difference this time, they planned to enter through Plura and traverse in the reverse direction. The 5-man team was split into 2 groups, descending 2 hours apart to minimize stirring up silt and keep visibility as clear as possible. The leaders of each group were Kai and Patrick, using underwater scooters. If everything went smoothly, the entire dive would take about 5 hours. However, the river surface was already frozen. They first had to break through a half-meter thick layer of ice to enter Plura. While Patrick and Jari, first team, cleared the ice, the second team's 3 members carried equipment up to the dry cave entrance. By the time they returned, a triangular opening had been made in the ice. As planned, Patrick and Jari entered the water first. The water temperature was near freezing, and they were soon enveloped in darkness, but with dive lights, visibility remained reasonable. They used scooters to save energy and carried closed-circuit rebreathers, which allow smaller cylinders and longer bottom times, but also carry greater risk, since any breathing irregularity can lead to CO2 buildup. Each diver carried 3 bailout cylinders as backup. After a short descent and ascent, the 2 reached a large air chamber about 250 meters long, a huge partially flooded space where one could swim or wade through. After passing this chamber, the tunnel dropped steeply, becoming narrower with very high water pressure and near 0-degree temperatures. Any tear in a dry suit would almost certainly be fatal, but for the well-prepared pair, everything seemed under control. They reached the deepest underwater point at 132 meters, turned off their scooters, and briefly admired the surroundings. Markings from Kai and Patrick's previous year's dive were still on the guideline. Jari added his own with a waterproof marker,